If you believe a famous Scotch is automatically a great Scotch, this video might annoy you, because today we're talking about the best-selling bottles that offer the worst value. Even worse, there are bottles where you're paying for the brand name, not the whiskey. If you've ever dropped $80 or even $200 on a bottle of Scotch, you need to watch this until the end. 8. Chivas Regal 12. Chivas 12 is the quintessential image of classy Scotch. The gold box, the rounded bottle, it's a staple in every major supermarket. For many, this is the first step into what they consider proper whiskey. But once you strip away the branding and look at what's actually in the bottle, you find a product designed to offend no one and impress no one either. At 40% ABV, chill filtered and colored with caramel, Chivas 12 has been stripped of almost everything that gives a whiskey depth. On the palate, it's smooth to a fault, almost empty. You get a hint of sweetness, a bit of metallic graininess, and then it's gone. No layers develop, no crescendo. It's not bad, but the fact that there's nothing to say about it is exactly the problem. Spending around $35 for a whiskey that you can't even remember after the glass is empty, it's not that you bought the wrong whiskey, it's that you didn't buy an experience at all. 7. Dalmore 12. Dalmore 12 is the classic example of a whiskey sold to the eyes before it ever touches the lips. The deep mahogany hue, the heavy glass, the silver stag mounted like a medal of honor, everything about it screams expensive. But Dalmore makes no secret of using E100 and Fial A for coloring. This means that rich tint doesn't come from years of sherry cask aging. It comes from an additive. Combine that with a 40% ABV and chill filtration, and the mouthfeel ends up being much thinner than the bottle's appearance promises. You're paying for visual drama, but when the liquid finally hits your tongue, the math doesn't add up. It's that moment a drinker realizes they were sold on the story long before they ever had a taste. 6. The Glenlivet Founders Reserve. The Founders Reserve wasn't an accident. It was a business decision. Glenlivet stripped away the age statement, kept the familiar bottle shape, and sold you a story about heritage instead of actual time spent in the cask. At 40% ABV, chill filtered, and artificially colored, this is a whiskey designed for mass supply, not for quality. On the palate, you get a sharp sweetness, harsh ethanol, and a finish that is practically non-existent. The most frustrating part isn't even the flavor. It's the realization that a brand you trusted chose to cut corners without cutting the price. It's fady. The Macallan 12 Double Cask. The Macallan 12 Double Cask is the whiskey people buy to make a statement. It needs no introduction. But because of that, it also feels like it doesn't need to try anymore. At 40% ABV, chill filtered, and with a profile that's safe and easy to drink, there's nothing inherently wrong with it until you look at the price tag. You're dropping $80 to $100 for an experience that many other Speyside malts deliver at half the cost. This is pure brand tax. You aren't paying for complexity. You're paying for the recognition that comes with the name on the label. 4. Johnnie Walker Blue Label. Blue Label wasn't created to be drunk. It was created to be displayed. The blue box, the gold lettering, the price tag itself is designed to make the buyer feel like they've finally arrived. But in the glass, what you have is a 40% ABV blend, chill filtered and engineered to be unoffensive. It is so smooth, light, and neutral that in a blind tasting, it's incredibly difficult to justify that $200+ price point. The deception isn't about low quality. The deception lies in the fact that you've been taught to believe that smooth equals expensive. If you think making a great Scotch requires a century of heritage and a multi-million-dollar marketing budget, this next bottle will make you reconsider everything. Because this is the kind of bottle that whiskey insiders buy for themselves, but rarely ever buy to impress anyone else. 3. Loch Lomond 12. Loch Lomond 12 doesn't try to impress you on the shelf. The label is simple. There's no luxury box and no golden heritage stories printed on it. That's exactly why so many people walk right past it. But Loch Lomond doesn't compete on looks. They compete on distillation craft. They are one of the very few distilleries in Scotland with such a diverse array of stills, including their rare straight-neck pot stills. This allows them to create multiple styles of spirit under one roof, something most of the big players simply can't do. The Loch Lomond 12 is the result of that flexibility. 46% ABV, non-chill filtered, retaining all its natural oils and texture. In the glass, it opens with ripe orchard fruits, green apple, pear, light honey, followed by a whisper of peat smoke. It's not there to overpower, just to add depth. The mouthfeel is thick enough to let every layer unfold without feeling heavy. This is the kind of whiskey that makes you sit up straight after the first sip. At around $40, it gives you a rare feeling. You're drinking something crafted with far more seriousness than the price tag suggests. 2. Bunnahabhain 12. If you think Islay is only about smoke and peat, Bunnahabhain 12 will force you to think again. This is an Islay that doesn't scream, it whispers, but with absolute confidence. Bottled at 46.3% ABV, non-chill filtered, and with no caramel coloring. Bunnahabhain 12 keeps exactly what many other bottles intentionally strip away: the oils, the fatty acids, and the texture. This creates a waxy, mouth-coating sensation that 40% ABV whiskeys can never achieve. The flavors develop slowly and deeply: dried fruits, roasted nuts, rich malt, and a hint of sea salt and ocean breeze. No rush, no gimmicks. Every sip lingers, leaving a balanced, salty, sweet finish that makes you want to take your time. In the $50, $60 range, Bunnahabhain 12 feels like an expensive whiskey in the truest sense, not because of the price, but because of how long the experience stays with you after you set the glass down. This is the bottle that makes drinkers realize integrity specs aren't just slogans. They are the foundation of emotion. 1. Arran 10. Arran 10 is the whiskey for those who are tired of drinking the reputation. Founded in 1995, Arran was once considered too young, too new, without enough history to be taken seriously. But instead of chasing a vintage look, they chose to do something else. Make whiskey the right way from day one. 46% ABV, natural color, non-chill filtered. Nothing to hide. In the glass, Arran 10 opens with lemon zest, orange peel, creamy vanilla, biscuity malt, and a touch of light spice. The flavor is bright, clean, and energetic, more like cool sea air than a marketing boardroom. What makes Arran 10 special isn't one specific note, but the overall vibe. This is a whiskey that wants to be drunk, not displayed. It doesn't demand complex analysis, but the slower you drink it, the more you realize the balance and confidence in its craftsmanship. At around $45-$55, Arran 10 asks an uncomfortable question to the market. If an entry-level bottle can do all this, what exactly are the expensive ones doing? These 3 bottles don't try to prove they are expensive. They only need to prove that they respect the drinker. And here is what I really want to ask you. Which of these hidden gems surprised you the most? Or even worse, which bottle have you bought in the past just for the reputation before you knew these existed? Leave a comment below. I want to hear about your real experiences. And in the next video, we're going to talk about the rare, expensive scotches that are actually worth it. Thank you for watching.